go to open homes as
like
well.
$1,000
cover, which is yung
Ang maipapayo
And what is the implication?
so with Kayanga or
This thing and this thing.
hindi talaga siya binahay. Fair.
Yay! Hey, hang on a minute. Yep, there you go. Happy Friday, everyone. And welcome back to another exciting episode of Home Buying Tips in New Zealand. And I'm excited and thrilled again to have you all here as we dive into another fascinating topic of turning your first home into an investment. Yep, that's our topic tonight. When you think of adding a granny flat and then renting it out, that's basically what we're going to talk more about with our guests tonight. I'm your host, Juvie. And unfortunately, Marianne is not able to join us tonight because of family commitment. But we've got our guest anyway, so the show must go on. And today's episode is packed with valuable insights for anyone looking to make their home work for them as an investment. That's what I'm personally doing, trying actually. I'm trying my best. And our guest will be talking more about that because we are in similar journey. But their one is, I'd say more. She has more to say because I've been sharing my stories anyway as a teacher and as a homeowner here in New Zealand, like our home buying journey and even our plans. So, but before we get into the details, I'd like to introduce our special guest for tonight. Not new, and maybe you've seen her before already in one of my podcasts because she's also a teacher. And her husband has the same, I wouldn't say exactly the same, but similar pathway with my husband's journey as well to New Zealand, right? So we're joined by our guest, Miss uh, Beverly. I just call her Sister Ever because, yeah, we're sisters in Christ. Beverly Carpio, let's welcome her. Here we go. Hi.
Hi, good
How are
evening.
you?
So, and I don't know, good afternoon po sa iba. I'm good.
Good
Sorry,
afternoon.
ata, ito, it's Zoom. I didn't know it's StreamYard pala ito.
Yeah, this is your second time using StreamYard
Yes,
because
yes, yes.
first
Opo.
one yung kasama mo si si Raquel. And then
Oo.
Raquel to share her recent journey of home buying. Pero syempre nahiya pa siya mention kasi yung bahay niya.
Mention kasi yon.
I know, right? Anyway, for the information of the others, we have sister. Oh, let's just say. Let me just bring up your name here para makita nila. Um, do the do your students call you Mrs.?
No, because they're non-verbal.
Ah, okay. But what
Yeah.
about your mates, your colleagues? Wala.
They just
Pangalan
call me by name.
Beverly. Beb.
Yeah.
Beb. Yeah. But for the Filipino friends, everlasting.
Ever. Ever po.
Ayan,
But my
however you
sister called me Bebang.
oh, that's a different one. But anyway, a sister Ever or Beverly is a homeowner. Correct me if I'm wrong. You bought the house in 2021 or 22
Yes,
during
2021.
yeah during the peak season, and then that was, I would say, one of the boldest decision probably you've made because that was the peak season, and knowing your journey here, it's not that easy. And then you
Yeah.
added granny flat just to give a summary of it to our
Mm.
viewers. And
Yeah.
not only that, you also took a step forward and rented out your home, turning it into a smart investment, I would say. I was really surprised. You added the granny flat, you moved to the granny flat and have the main house rented by
Yes.
someone you know as well.
Yes.
So before we dive into the different questions that I have prepared for you, maybe you would like to greet your friends or families who might be watching or someday will be watching this. Friends, who recently moved to New Zealand and maybe looking into buying their first home as well sometime next year. Would you like to greet them first?
Hello po. I don't know what to say, but like, yeah, it's just a journey. It is a leap of faith. So all throughout, it's just like I think the revelation is just be steadfast, because just like be faithful, because God is faithful, and in His perfect timing, everything will come. So sa mga gustong bumili ng house, it will come. We
Oh,
just
wow.
pray for it. Yeah.
Nakaka like a goosebumps message straight away right in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's meaningful and at the same time it's so calming. So anyone who's so excited, because I know who wouldn't be excited to buy their first home, but
Mm.
then there is a right time for everything.
Mm.
So
Mm.
dive into the first question. Ano yung mga factors na kinonsider nyo in buying your first home? Because that's your first home here in New Zealand.
Yes.
What was like, just give us a brief summary of what was your situation back then and what forced you to buy your first home, and then change it into a granny flat during the peak season. No.
Yes.
Just adding. Sorry.
So like what I've said, it's our journey in buying our home is like leap of faith. We didn't actually know that it was the highest peak of houses that time. We were not
Yeah.
aware. But because we've been renting house in Auckland, and we've just realized that all our income are just going to the house. And then when we got a residency, we were like thinking, maybe if we go back to farming, because in
Mm-hmm.
farming, part of the package is the free house. So we were
Mm-hmm.
thinking that we could save more money if we go back to farming, and I can be like I can teach. My husband can go back to farming so we can save more. And then when my me and my husband had that opportunity to talk to his current employer until right now, he told us like, but before that he just prayed, because he kind of know, he has that kind of assumption instinct that we were going to say we're going to have my husband's resignation, we're planning that. He
Yeah.
kind of have that thought already. So after that he asked our plans, and then we mentioned we wanted to go back to Hamilton because Auckland is a busy place,
And
and
expensive.
very expensive, the cost of living, name it. But it's good because we found our work in here, but also we wanted to save something. Wanted to save money. So when we talked to the employer, and then the employer said, what is really bothering you? What is the main factor? Why are you planning to go back to Hamilton and go back to farming? And then until we go to the bottom line, both of us, we told the employer that we wanted to save money to buy a house, because here in Auckland we've been renting, and it feels like that is only, we wanted to save that money instead of renting. And then the employer, we were surprised, we wanted to buy a house. Do you have something? You have money? We were laughing because we don't have, ate. You know that we don't
Yeah.
have. We only have Kiwi Saver, which is like 13,000. That's not our money either. That is like the Kiwi Saver we got, and then the employer's contribution, and then the
Mhm.
government contribution. Both me and my husband has a Kiwi Saver. To total it, like it's like 25 to 30,000, and that's it. And we were thinking to buy a house, but our thought is that we go back to Hamilton, stay there for maybe 3 to 5 years, and save money. And then to cut it short, the employer said, okay, will you be staying to Auckland? Will you be staying in this company? I will give you money for your down payment. We were so surprised that time. And
Yeah.
then we just accepted the offer, not thinking about that the houses during that time are on its peak season, that they are all expensive.
Mm,
And people were just saying, are you sure going to buy at this time? But we were like, someone is going to lend us money, and we just want to hold on to that.
mm,
And it's not that because they're lending us money, but because when they talk to us, they hold into our dreams, like we wanted to build a home. It's like this and like that, because they're so family man as well, they're Christian.
mhm.
And then when we had all those paper documents sorted out, we went to a broker. So the struggle begins. Looking for a house, it's okay, but getting an approval from the main bank is a problem because they check into our accounts. We don't have something. We only have the Kiwi Saver
Yeah.
and the money loaned by the employer. So the bank tell us that you're going to borrow money and you have an existing loan amounting to this. So they are very hesitant to give us that loan amount of money, even if both of us are like on a permanent job, like our in terms of servicing, we can pay the mortgage. But you see, it feels like you're going to pay the main bank and you're going to pay the employer as well. What is
Mm,
they just in here they will not lend you money. They wanted to see that there is also life balance with your
mm,
expenses, and
true.
they don't give it. Unlike maybe in some areas, in maybe in some countries like back home in Philippines, they will still lend you money, not realizing that your expenses is already,
Mm,
you know, putting
yeah,
you
it is.
into a deep end, something like that. So and then so we were struggling. We wanted to give up because we've been applying for major banks. I don't want to name the banks because by in fairness, that's the rule. They can't give it to us. They've been wanting to give the loan to us, but they can't because
Mm,
the money that we're going to pay for them for the house, the 10% deposit is a loan money and including our savings. And we
yeah.
also sold a part of our land back home in the Philippines. So the mortgage broke, I mean the our broker, we went into a non-lending bank. So it's not it's a bank but non-main bank. It's not a main bank.
Yeah.
You
A
know,
second lender tier, I think.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
a second lender. But here is the catch again. The interest rate was so high,
Higher.
very high, and the house is so expensive. But we prayed like we wanted to have that house because this
Mm,
money is going to, like, it's the employer is giving it for us, and we don't want to, like, when opportunity comes, you need to embrace it. Pray for it because it's been there already. So when we went and talked about with that bank, the second lending bank, we went into our finances, and we realized, oh, we can actually pay this one in a certain time. So I mean the mortgage, we can survive getting that kind of rate because our
mm.
broker said, oh, let's just stay with this second lending company for a year, and then after that to
Main
we
bank.
switch So we switched to the main bank after a year. But so on that second lending bank, we survive for a year, but we make sure that we minimize our expenses. So while we were on that one, when we managed to get the house on this second lending bank, we kind of rush to convert the garage into a
Ah,
like a minor dwelling. So it will
okay.
help us to pay the mortgage. So when the minor dwelling was finished, we moved there, and then we rented out the main house. Then we managed to survive and pay the mortgage.
Okay.
It
So
took
in
us, it was a bit of struggle because of the COVID.
yeah, because that was just it was still COVID time, right?
Yes, it was COVID, still COVID that time. But we
But
were
then
so
it
blessed with people around us, like friends who are like certified plumber, carpenters, like
mm,
roofers. They came and helped us. So we gave them they gave us some discounts. So we
mm,
managed to get the consent, the proper documents, put it all together. So the house was finished. So we moved to the minor dwelling. The house is being rented out. Then we survive.
oh, that's a good idea because you've mentioned that you've got a lot of friends who are tradies, and so
Yes,
those people who are wanting to add something to your house, a granny flat or a sleep out, then you can contact Sister Elva
yes.
to get
Yeah, we have friends. But in like for if you're planning to get a consent, we need to make sure that those tradies are like licensed, registered,
license.
because the council keep on checking on those records as well.
Yeah, yeah, so true. Right. So, in other words, even though it was a tough decision for you to make, tough journey, but then it
Yeah,
turned out good because you were able to survive with the main house rented out.
Yes, yes
But
po.
I would like to just quickly go back to how much were you paying for the rent before you bought the house, just to give an idea to those maybe who are still wanting to come to New Zealand, thinking of renting a house or renting a room. How much was the rent before? Three-bedroom
Oh,
house.
you mean like when we were renting for a place?
Yes.
Like for
Yes.
a three-bedroom house, we were renting around the last place we were renting in Utahuhu was uh mano ka dede kuya? Di dati Utahu. 620. But that was way back 2021. 620.
620 for three-bedroom.
Three bedroom.
And then, nung pinarent nyo na yung main house nyo, how much were you renting it out?
Oh, sorry. You mean the house itself, the mortgage?
No, no, no. So you rented out the house before in Itahuhu. That's the
Yes.
620.
Yeah.
And oh, yep. And then yung main house nyo, because you moved to the granny flat.
Yes.
Tapos yung main house pinarent nyo, how
Pinarent
much?
namin yung main house around 750.
Is it because of the area? How many bedrooms is it? Four.
The main house is like four bedroom with
Ah,
two bathroom.
oh, that's why. So it's a bit
Yes.
expensive. So
Yes.
four bedrooms plus na granny flat kayo. So a total of six bedrooms now for
Six
your.
bedrooms, three bathrooms, two kitchens, separate entries with a space for themselves as well.
Yeah. Oh, now you have a bigger property that I think will increase its value later on, although it hasn't caught up yet to the price
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
first bought it. Not yet, but I reckon over time it will grow anyway. For long term ang mga
Yes
ganitong
po.
investment kasi.
Hopefully po.
But now your situation is different because you've got your property, you left it, rented it
Yes.
out. I mean, and you
Yes.
moved to a different place. You're renting another place. Tell
Yes.
us uh, more
They
about.
told me was like they told like they were asking what made us make that decision.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that my workplace is on North Shore. So traveling from Manurewa to North Shore would be a problem. It will take me an hour of drive because of the traffic as well. So
You
we
are.
decided we were so blessed to find a place like five bedroom, up and down, with three bathrooms, two
Ooh.
kitchens. So to cut it
Mm.
short, we're renting the first floor and we're renting out the second floor. So we rent the whole house,
Mm-hmm.
but we are like we rent the first floor and then we are renting out the second floor. So we are also saving money. So we were thinking that the property that we got in Manurewa in Mahia, it's being rented out to a close friends. Two
Mm-hmm.
families are renting it out, but they are like just paying the mortgage itself. So we were
Yeah.
thinking we don't have anything there. It's
You
like
don't need to worry about it.
we don't need to worry about it. We're just worrying about the rates, the insurances, and the other stuff.
Good.
Those
Very
ones.
good.
But now in here, because we found a place that it's actually okay,
Mm.
because we were able to rent rented out the first floor. I mean the two
Mm.
bedrooms to
Mm.
another family. So it helps us a lot to save more. So that
Oh.
made us the decision because of my workplace as well. I needed to move near to my workplace.
But it sounds fantastic actually, because you don't have to worry about your mortgage, and then
Yes.
you are able to have a discount actually in total for your weekly payment
Mm,
for the
mm.
house. So, yan naman kasi ang like the common what do you call this? Yung parang uso ngayon dito sa
Apo.
New Zealand. You rent the whole house and have share it with someone like a roommate. But in your case, since you have two kitchen in that house that you're renting, and
Yeah,
therefore you have a family like living on their own in
under
the
first
yeah,
floor.
first
Yes.
floor. So alam ko North Shore is an expensive neighborhood.
Yes, it
Pero
is,
okay.
ate. So much. Very expensive. I don't know why, but it's expensive indeed. Yeah.
Um, I think I know why, but I don't want to mention it here.
Yeah.
But just to give an idea to people who are coming over, rough cost of the rent that you are paying every week, because the payment here is every week, right? The
Yes.
rent every week.
So it feels like we're paying our rent here for
No,
around,
overall, kasi 5 bedrooms naman siya, di ba?
yeah, we managed to get this property for around like, usually it must be 1,000 a week. But
Wow.
the owner and my husband, they had a talk to what to fix of the house, and then
Huh?
whatever it is, he kind of lessen it to the rent, and we
Ah,
just make sure
okay.
we maintain something so we get a proper deal. And then
Oh,
it came back, it went down to 850.
well, not bad.
Not bad.
And
So it's like divided by two families. Someone is
yes,
renting down, we're renting up. So it really saves us a lot.
parang mas mura pa kaysa sa ano na,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're renting an expensive, not really inexpensive. Even if you're probably renting here in Manurewa and you will be renting out a good new house, it's very expensive. Let's say 3 bedroom, maybe 6 or 700.
Yes,
Because
yes,
from
around that range. Even
mm,
in like a two-bedroom house, like even if like a two-bedroom house attached to an, a main house, it will range around 5 to 600. You see, for a
yeah.
two-bedroom house here in Manureva, like a single standalone house for two-bedroom will take you around 5 to 600 as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much okay with the decision. Although I would say it was really a big decision to make and very risky, but in
Yes,
the end, it turned out very well.
yes,
That's for me. I don't know.
it turned out well because we have people like giving us advices as well. Although it's a bit weird that you have a house and you're not staying there, but maybe because we're in a practical situation like, why
Mm,
are we staying here if we don't have enough money to pay the mortgage? Why not
mm,
just move out and then squeeze yourself to something into a
mm,
family member again and just rent it out just to survive, something like that. And then luckily we just found this place, like it feels like, it's like hitting bird with a one stone, two birds with one stone. You're like, you're renting out your house. I moved to North Shore. I'm 5 minutes close by to my working place. This is the house that we want. It's being rented out. See
mhm.
those ones.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure you have considered so many things, and whatever decision you've made, it suits your needs, your
Yes.
practical needs, of
Mm-mm.
course. That's the
Opo.
main thing. That's why we're having this kind of stories, because there's no specific strategy that applies to everybody.
Yes
You've
po.
got to assess your needs, like if you're work closer to your workplace or closer to schools of the kids, or weigh up things. There are many ways to go around the challenges here in New Zealand. That's one thing I like, although
Mm-mm.
it can be tough sometimes. Pero let's talk about just a quick one about looking for a tenant, because it's not easy to trust somebody to leave your house to someone and then live with someone that you do not know. And I know it's not a Filipino tenants that you have with you, living with you right now.
Yeah.
So, anong mga considerations mo in having that and making that decision to have it rented out?
Like for instance, the house that is our house in Manureva, which is being rented out, we've been living to that family together since we started in Hamilton, so that we know them, they know us. So it's like they're part of a family. So we're okay. We're having that trust that they will look after the house as well, which they are doing naman for the two families sa Mahia. And then the here in North Shore, the family, we have a different I mean, they're not Filipinos who is renting out. But when we had the time for a viewing, there are like other people who viewed the house. But this one actually touches my husband's heart because like they talked to my husband and they were like so desperate to have this place, and we
Mm,
kind of see ourselves to them before when we started because they have two babies, little littlies, and it's really hard to find a place if you have babies as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
and then they are also starting. So if you are going to start and renting a property, you need like references, you need to call them, you need to have bond, you need to
Mm.
have down payments, but we, because we didn't ask for that, so we just maybe,
Oh,
ano bang tawag dun, yung kagaanan ng loob ba?
oo,
Magaan
oo.
yung loob mo nung kwan, kaya yun, binigay na rin namin.
Yes, thanks for mentioning that. So it sounds like they are new immigrants here in New Zealand as well. They are
Oh,
just starting
I think so. Parang they've been here, but they've been like moving from one place to another.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Looking for,
that's a good point as well for you to bring up, because akala na iba when you move here, it's i- I'm hearing stories of people like it's hard to look for a job, and then once they find a job, there's another struggle that you'll have to face looking for a house,
a
especially.
house. Oo,
And
opo.
once you're new in New Zealand, it's not easy. So, ako, a suggestion ko to new ones, you gotta reach out to many people because you cannot rent a house straight away, actually, coming from overseas, unless special case, But pag wala kang, we usually look for what you said, referrals. You check their
Yeah,
history.
opo.
Pero in your case, you didn't look for that one. And there's
Mm,
also a bond that you've mentioned. A lot of
yes.
people are also asking for bonds. Even myself, I asked for bonds from my borders.
Mm-mm.
And meron pa nga kaming kontrata eh.
Oh,
Uh,
meron din po kaming contract. Opo.
so
Kailangan
at
po, we still need to be binded with contract po. Bounded ba tawag doon? Parang kailangan may kontrata pa rin.
oo. Ako, ginawa-gawa ko lang and then just have it signed. And what about in your case? Did you ask a lawyer to do
For
it?
no, on the main house sa Manurewa, we still follow the tenancy agreement.
Mm.
The standard, ano bang
Okay.
tawag dun?
Yes.
Standard contract
I don't
ng,
know.
basta may gano'n po ng tenancy agreement. And then, dito naman po, kami, pumirma kami ng standard tenancy agreement from the landowner, pero pinagpirma rin namin yung nasa baba as being the head tenant. And then, kasi you can be a head tenant, but it's
Oh,
not your house. You
yes.
can be a head tenant, and then kung ipapa-rent mo yung isang room, kahit isang room lang, they can be your flat
Flatmate.
tenant, parang flatmate or flat tenant, parang gano'n po. You can find that into the tenancy agreement website po ng council.
I didn't know about that because I've just heard of people renting the house even though they are also renting it. Tapos
Yeah,
they're the main tenant. Tapos, come and go na lang yung iba. But
mm.
meron palang agreement for flatmates.
Yes, meron po, basta kunwari kami, we are a head tenant.
Mm.
So meron pong format dun sa tenancy agreement. Yun po yung kinopya namin, eh. Yun po yung pinapirma namin sa baba.
Ah, so the owner knows that you're renting out the
Yes, yes
room
po.
or the granny flat probably underneath
Yes
the
po.
first house, the main house. Oh,
Opo.
great.
'Cause
Any
like
other sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sorry po. 'Cause like for us, we needed to do that to give like that kind of security to the owner as well. That even if we are renting out the property, the first floor, there is also an agreement there mentioned that whatever yung mga dapat may pag may nasira, pag may ganun, they need to change it, parang ganun po. Para
Yeah.
safe din po yung may-ari ng bahay. Opo. At saka kami na head tenant, hindi po namin kasalanan yun. Ay, parang it's not part of, we have the right, kako. We have the right na pabayarin yung aming flatmate kasi sa kanila yun eh, sinira nila. Hindi
Oh,
kami parang hindi kami
liable.
agad ang magbabayad, parang ganun.
Mm. So that's safer rather than keeping
Opo,
it secret from the owner,
opo,
right?
opo.
Well, that's good. And it's good as well that you have talked to the owner straight away. Parang wala silang agency, ano?
Oh, wala. It's direct.
Mm,
So, some of the rented house may mga agent.
mm.
Pero I'm not saying na pangit yung may agent ha, hindi po. Nagkataon lang na yung sa amin dineretso namin yung homeowner. So we were just lucky that we were able to negotiate sa
Ah,
homeowner, opo.
so in other words, meron sana silang agency pero direkta ka sa kanila o wala
Hindi,
talaga sila?
wala po talaga silang agent. When they advertise it, we know straight away that it was the owner itself who advertised
So
the
that
Mm.
property.
yeah. That's the good thing sometimes with the owner because you can talk it out like
Mm,
you've negotiated the price and once they feel good about you and you have something to offer because your husband is a tradie and you've got friends and family who can assure of any fix or repairs that's needed. So yeah, that's a very good. You know what? I can only say you are really blessed all throughout your move here to New Zealand because
yun
even if
po.
you a lot of waves, I would say, you still manage
Yes,
through it. Yeah.
opo. We were just so blessed. Even if we just look back, you see how faithful God is. Sometimes, it's you're not worthy, but He's reaching out. Opo. The journey is overwhelming po. It's very, basta, masaya siya na mahirap, pero you know that someone is there helping you po.
And you've said it's fun because you were able to get through it. And it won't
Mm.
be fun if it's just smooth sailing. Parang
Opo.
walang challenge, diba?
Opo,
But
yes.
because of the challenge, it's like what he said in the word, he will show that he's God. Right.
Mm.
Thank you so much for your story. And thank you
No,
for
thank you so much po.
these tips and all of these things that some of those things I haven't even heard of, like the flatmate contract. So thank you. And I'm pretty sure a lot of our viewers here will be able to find this video, will find it very valuable and useful, especially that I've heard a lot of quite a few Filipinos still coming from the Philippines to move here to New Zealand. So I hope this will really prepare them. Any last words to our viewers or to your friends or to your families who are still looking into home buying, first home soon?
Um, Parang for me, when we were buying house, it's really important to ask people who has experiences as well. Because based from their experience, they will tell us good insights, lots of takeaways from them, and just be open sa kanila. Because sometimes we were on that part like, I want this, and then they were advising us, you know what, maybe you're rushing, or maybe just look at this house. You don't need to buy this kind of house because your first house will always be your stepping stone for of your dream house, something like that. But
Yep.
in my head, I was like, I wanted this. But you know what? There are like options. Try to consider them as well and pray for it. Parang ganun po. Maganda pong makinig sa may experience na talaga. Because they know
Especially
the ins and outs, even the numbers. I don't understand how the computation and all.
mm.
I'm so, math is my Waterloo, ate. You know that. Numbers is not my
Oh,
thing. And
that's
buying a house, you need to be smart with your numbers, you need to be smart on your computation and all those stuff. And we don't have accountant, we don't have those ones because we can't afford. So see,
yeah.
ate, we only base it with people who who is genuine. You know what? They really wanted us to settle, and they gave us advice that they even take time to come and visit, and then let's have some coffee. We really want to talk to you about your decision, something like that. And
Mm,
if someone is telling you, just listen because they've
mm,
been there.
yeah,
Yan po.
yeah. That's
Opo.
good. Hear many voices, get
Yeah.
more insights. But then at the end of the day, it's your decision to make
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you don't know
opo.
your situation.
Yeah. But it's
Fantastic.
really good that you have like ideas and then you need to weigh them. Because like
Mm,
at the end of the day, after all this discussion, it's you and your family. It's not you and your husband, also your kids. It's really good. That's why when we had the viewing, we involved the kids. Do you like
mm,
that one? Imagine, ate, did you have that experience? I want that room, and they
yeah,
will play that
yeah.
room. You know those ones?
It's
Yes.
fun, actually. And it's sometimes it's disappointing as well because you can't get that house.
Yes. Opo. Opo.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ever. And thanks to the family. Thanks for the people behind you, but not in the scene.
Opo. Thank you
Send my
so much,
regards to everyone.
then.
And I'll see you soon, hopefully, in the Christmas party.
Yes, see you there for sure.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank
Oh,
you po.
right. There you go, everybody. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're getting more ideas and weigh up your case because we don't know it. Only you know your situation, only you know what you are capable of. But seek a lot of advice. Mortgage brokers are there, free appointments, unless you go ahead with them. Of course, they get commission from the bank or from the lender that you are going to go ahead with. And that's it. Looking forward to see you again next week, Wednesday. Hopefully, will be available on Wednesday. If not, we'll move it on some other days where our guests will be available too. And coming up as well for the uh, teaching advice in New Zealand next week. We're gonna have a pause this week because we're a bit busy. We have another event. It's not my event, but we're just joining the event of Pistang Filipino in Takanini on Saturday and Sunday. So hope to see you there, Kapihan, by 5M trading. And what else is coming up? We have the New Zealand Filipino teachers in Auckland or in New Zealand, of course. We'll be having Christmas party on the 1st of December. So join us if you're able to. And we look forward to meeting you, new faces or old faces. We'll be happy to catch up with you, celebrate the whole year of success, and we'll share more ideas and activities that you can definitely share in your class or do in your class. So let's grow together. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a good night. Bye.